Hello and welcome. Right, oh, I've not started everyone's engines. I've just literally jumped straight in. I have been in and out because I had realised I've made my pyramid greenhouse, and the whole thing was so you can legitimately say, well, there's more reason to actually have a bigger greenhouse because it's got more like floors, which obviously is quite rare. So I've done that, and I thought, well, as soon as I go on a new Let's Play, I want to make them all into pyramids, so that's what I've done. So we can't block that off there. We could go where yeah, I think that's the best place. I think it's like a proper place is available. So you're closest. Yeah, I think we did. The last thing we did was the bit of, yes, I'm still struggling with my words, it's horrible. Yeah, this I mean, I normally do anyway on a Saturday morning, but what I mean is it's sort of like really quite bad for yeah, I think this, oh my life, I can't even do it. Yeah, it has got me rather bad, this last COVID. Yeah, it's a bit of a bad one. It's a, yeah, the one bad thing I didn't realise was I've got long COVID. And it's not, that's just, I didn't know that's what it was called, but I was talking to the AI yesterday. I don't use the AI a lot because it saves you faffing around, searching. It's almost like a search on steroids. I'm not totally enamored of it. I used to use it quite a lot for the modding, but I found it can be misleading, to say the least. And actually, I found it led me down the garden path a few times where I thought, you're better off doing it yourself. Why are you and I was just seeing, you do. Is it going to help me or not? And the answer to that in the main is not really a lot. Yeah, it's not the golden fleece that everyone thinks it is, I don't think. So having tried it, I now think I do still use it, but more for a syntax checker. You know, will you just check to make sure I've not made any typos in this and things like that? And that it does very well. And it'll always offer to do more, and you'll say, oh, no, I'm all right, thank you. No, we're good. Thanks a lot, though. But, no, definitely not. So this we want to sell, actually. Because we've now got another mower. We can even set our 6 meter going with one of our other tractors. We are right near the store. It's true. The store's a bit special on this one, isn't it? When you think about how it is, I think what we'll do, we might even put a building down to represent the store a bit more, because it's a bit weird having nothing and things just pop from nowhere. It is, even for me, I'm it's a little bit strange. Right, so we do need the 6 meter, which we have obviously put away already because we can't find it. All right. Oh, the other thing is I'd like to buy a front box for this. It assists. It's not so much needed for the 6 meter, but we will. Yeah, and it's a standard one. We do on the way as well. It helps. All right. Did I say about well, yeah, weights? I'll loosely say that we will include that. I suppose I should have said a little bit more clearly. But front boxes weights, I would include that in that category. But some people might think, oh, so I apologise, because it might appear that I'm breaking my own rules. I usually do actually specifically mention them on anything that I'm classing as extreme, although this is not an extreme series, so this is a special map. So no, what we were going to do though was, yeah, we need the Cedar 2. Still submerged down there. The pump is still pumping. Yeah, it keeps on saying the message when it first starts. All my life, that's what wobbling me around somewhat chronic. Yeah, I'm not sure what horsepower the little one Valtra is. I've had that as a lead on quite a few Let's Plays, so... Did I repair? I think I did. I think I repaired the seed. So, what are we going to do about, because I usually do on this kind of thing that you, oh, I forgot about that it links to that as well. Yeah, brilliant. It is actually, this is its proper lead, so I know what we'll do. Yeah, we'll have a field point, but it's in the shop area. You know, like certain shops do have that, so we will stick a buy point. So we've got to always go to it. We're always going to the shop, but at least that way it's fairly convenient as well. But we're not stretching it where, we're like not observing the shop itself. Yeah, I'm not like, because this is almost like a survivally type one where it feels strange. Yeah, that is the right one. Oh, okay, we can't actually... Oh, you see, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you try to do this, and you can't. In that case, we shall go old school then. We'll buy things loose. We should buy seeds and things like that in that kind of thing, because I want to sort of observe that this is different. All of this kind of survivally type map, I want to run them as though you are really running in a survival type sort of scenario. So the other thing is, we want to change this to grass, because that's the field we could do in March. And then we're going to put the greenhouse down, but I thought it made more sense to get this going first. Right, so then we want category seeds is probably good place to start. I don't need too many. Let's do 3. And also fertilizer. 3 again, I think. Yeah, we could really do with another seeder stroke planter. So let's first of all stick the fertilizer in the front box. So we have more fertilizer than we want. Oh, now that's useful. It's now showing more actions again. Stop refilling solid fertilizer. It's actually telling you what you're filling. Now that's useful to know. Yeah. Because normally it's refill, and you could be going seeds or you could be going fertilizer. That really is very, very useful to actually know that you are actually refilling that. Right, so now we want to do our seeds, and it's actually telling us that we are doing seeds. I like this. Is another thing I like, and this is only recently switched on, where if you've got more seeds in range, okay, it refills the others too, or it does on most. Perhaps it's a seeded thing then. Maybe it is. It could be. I never thought of that. Well, there you go. That it doesn't. So maybe it's a line of code in the XML of a couple that I've seen. No, they're on mine. So no, I've not changed anything. Yeah, on the Optima, as it would be, I've changed it. Obviously, it is an Optima, but I've changed the model completely, and I've also souped up a little, but I haven't changed the main code. So whatever that says, it now picks up like, why have I got? Because you didn't have enough, but you've got enough really. So right, so let's set this going. Weren't we going to like rip the edge of the field a little? We can still set this going though on the field main, and then we'll like literally with that beautiful. Oh, I thought she said that I couldn't. I was in the road or something. Right, let's grab this, stick it straight away. Let's get into good habits, and then we're going to like rip the edge of the field. We've still not got our stone picker, although we did have a stone picker. We did. It is true. That big trailer will be very useful for grabbing the stones off that other side when it's time for us to go that way. It's nice to have this. It's like having an old friend back. I used to love this in FS22. Right, plough. Let's get on. Are we going to time-lapse this? I think so, because I'd like to get onto the more interesting things like the doing of the greenhouse and things like that. So yeah, let's get this bit done. So I am going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. No, I think there's just, it's a bit bumpy and things a little bit irregular, so I just think that little tiny bit is all we're going to do. Yeah, there's not much more room. I don't want to encroach upon the actual farmyard because it really is, you know, quite, but I just thought, well, it's already got the road near the farmyard, so really there's no real need to actually, like, yeah, have any more. And this is a bit of space where we may well put the greenhouse. No, we're going the other place we said. We did, it's true. Yeah, let's not change our mind now. Let's stick to what we said. Stick to the plan. Right, brilliant. I think we did clear the area. I think we're good to go. So let's have a go and stick this new pyramid greenhouse down in this area here. I think it will go quite nicely. Right, so then, greenhouses. No, they're the extremes. If we're going to lean on this heavily, as in it's going to be good, we will go. It's going to cost us a lot more, but what I mean is it will be better to go super. I have the 3 levels: standard production, a bionic, and then a super. And each one is like double the one before. So the super is really very good, but is quite a lot more expensive. Oh, and I think the picture would still not be a pyramid. But it will say pyramid. That's the one thing I did do, was like said pyramid. Yeah, I wanted to be able to distinguish it. So it should be... Oh, I want to change the... No, but it should still be 37,000 anyway. Super soybean. Super guar. Super rice. Super olive and grape greenhouse. Yeah, but that's the normal. Pyramid GH, that's the one we're after. Yay, fantastic. So then, the important thing here is to make sure that it's at the back without like going down the bank, which would be seriously quite bad for a pyramid greenhouse. Well, for any greenhouse of that matter. So we just want to grab that right to the back, like about there. I would say that is not too bad. And we can get to everything we need to get to. Let's have a quick look and make sure not buried or anything like that. Or the level's good, because that's the important thing down there. It does seem to be spot on, actually. Yep. So now we need to do water, which we have got. Well, we've got 2 tankers. We could try the original MKS, but we will have a tap. We're going to have a plumber that's going to plumb from the lake, and we will pay them. We will observe the rules that we've said, so we won't do that today. So it's March, April, May, June, the plumber will arrive. Let's just say this, do this properly. It's just all of a sudden a plumber's not arrived, even though I am a plumber. I could actually do it myself, but you know, like in real life. Oh, I like the beautiful pond. Very, very pretty. Alright, well, this is going to take us forever with this little one. We do have a big one that fills a lot quicker. We could have keep this one for like milk or to be honest, I think I'd sooner sell it and grab another one. It's very kind that we're giving them, but they're just so slow. When you're a modder, you like, it's one of the first things you do, you increase your flow rates and things like that, and then you go to a standard one and you go, no, please, don't give me this. It's so slow. Yeah, one thing I do realize, I think I've not increased the unload rate of that, because it's only... I did have the Amity as hours, and it was so painfully slow. So painfully bad in a lot of ways, that I thought, oh, I've got to do something, because this is driving me crazy. It's supposed to be a really big trailer, but it's got a bit of a design flaw, and it, like, the fact it's tracked, you'd think that'd be better, but it's not. It amplifies the error in the design, having just one track, whereas having the 3 wheels is actually an advantage, which it shouldn't be really. But then again, if something's put in the wrong place, it still can be true. Now this is definitely better with all those wheels. Can't believe it. It's just a completely different trailer. For the same reason though, sometimes it's better to have individuals, because like they're not all at the floor at the same time, as in sometimes the back ones are lift, but it's still got 4 at the front that are on the floor. So yeah, sometimes more is better than like one super duper cat. Of course, a properly designed cat is like a big advantage really, so it's not all... Right, so we'll not take the caravan out as well. Please leave that. It's nice to have somewhere to rest our head, even if we don't rest our head there. We would really. It's just a convention that we are speeding through time. Wow, doing very well really. So that's our grass field being done. Oh, still struggling on. Why should it struggle? It's 30 odd tons of water. It's very heavy. Now this is something that I think Giants have just brought in, because this is like, so yeah, you were thinking it was better, and it's just the same as it was before. The wheels have made absolutely no difference at all. You've got a long drawbar, and for some reason it's now gone recently into a nightmare scenario where it really is a pain to actually pull. It's no longer a pleasure to use. So I'm going to have to see what has changed, because we've not changed anything. So there's something not quite right. What? No, we just wanted that moving out of the road. We're not swapping tractors. If anything should not struggle, it should be this one, because this is 600 odd horsepower of sheer muscle. So the fact that it's wobbling around like a mad thing is sort of a little bit worrying, to say the least. Now then, is there anywhere we can buy... Oh, it's all submerged, isn't it? So how do we get to anything? Can we buy manure? Is this a thing on the map? Because we need it really, or we're gonna have to do water only. Can we buy manure in like? Have we got a trailer yet as well? No, we do normally say that, but we haven't stressed that. So I'm gonna like order one of these, and it's gonna have to be, unfortunately, that we do it through this means, because I never said any other special get out clause. So we're just gonna like find used, as we have with everything else, even though it's very cheap. Right, so that will arrive when it arrives. Do we have any manure? We could, I suppose. No, I can't remember if we've got any manure ones in FS25. I can make some myself, you know. I know I can. This is true. Let's stick this away. And also, let's, at the same time, being as we're going to the shop, let's grab that. That's if we can drive straight at all. It seems that we've like woken up that... so not that, but the corner production silo. This is what we need. Now this should... Actually, the big one would be better, wouldn't it, really? Yeah, it would. And it's quicker. A little quicker than this, at least. It's like... It takes so long to get up to the point where it... And then it's not too bad, though. It's not too slow. It's just a little bit... For Mr. Impatient, it's a bit slow on the... Yeah, so let's see. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we have got any manure in pallet form in FS25, in which case I may have to go out and make some. Right, so okay, we need to like also take the wood chips out of here. Gordon Bennett. Right, okay, come on. Yeah, I think I've left the unload rate at the standard unload rate, which... It might not do the outer edge, because it's ever so funny when you, like, plough a field. It's almost like... Which sort of shows a little bit how the workers work. But again, I like to do these tests, because what was true 6 months ago is not necessarily true anymore. This I also know that Giants do change the rules. You know, like that what you... suppose used to work like this, and now not necessarily does it work in the same way 6 months or a year later, because it can, the physics can be enhanced, as I found out with my water tanker that suddenly started to like behave differently, and I'm thinking Giants have tweaked the physics again. Right, so just that, and then we should see. Excellent. I think that will be the last object that we will sell. So let's see, can we buy some manure in pallet form or not? I'm not sure it'll be in that, but it might be. If it exists. Diesel liquid lime. No. It isn't in that, so is it forage harvesting or grassland or baling consumables? There's too many consumables now. There is. It's true. Special crops consumables. Category food. I don't really think it's classed as food. It'd be the strangest food ever. Also, you can actually buy the fish food like that. It's as expensive as I thought it would be. Pallet tanks, big bag pallets, big bags. So it all goes down here if we've got it. Yeah, solid fertilizer. No, nobody has done. No, well, I don't know. I think we've been fairly. If there's anything really important, I would. Mineral feeds, seeds, tree saplings, fish food, pallet, fillable, apple, bakery. Now, they're fillable pallets. Does that mean that you can actually fill them straight away? Or you need to fill them? Yeah, I think some of them you buy and you can say, right, I want this in it. Yeah, you can tell it what you want in it. Now, that would work. Crawfish brood stock. No, it really is just a DS Power. Oh, no, it is DS Power again. Yeah, that's done this. The cheese, bakery case 14. 810 seeds, fillable metal box. Coal, sand. We are in the right place. Nobody's done it. Right, okay, then this is a bit of a deal breaker, isn't it, really? Yeah, because we can't put our thing and just pour it out, because it makes no sense. You'd have to buy it in from someone who's already packaged it. Right, well, we do say live modding, so this appears that I've got to go out and make a manure palette of things, really. Will we make it bigger? I would say 5,000 litres is a much more palatable amount. So let's just see. I could set the worker working on another field. What are we always finished? No, I bet it hasn't. I bet you I'm right. And it has left alone the bit we added on that's... Yeah, it has. I am right. Yeah, the bit that we added, because we added it after it had started, it totally ignored us. It like doesn't realise that we did that because it took a scan of the field early on and yeah, totally ignored this. So it does go to show the work could still do that scanning thing at the beginning. Which I don't know how you all feel. I always like to know how the actual mechanics work. How do the workers work? Or that's how they work. Still, to this day, they scan the fields at the beginning and then they crack on, making it look like they don't know what they're doing when really they sort of do. Right, fast smashing. We might need to do 2 down here. It looks a bit bigger than 6 meters to me. So we're still in the market for others, like a 9 or even one of the biggest, an 18, something like that. That would be nice. Because our fields are getting bigger. This is the smallest of our fields. So the bigger ones are 6 meter away. Imagine the 3 meter though. I know, yeah, this is true. This is much better than 3, but nevertheless is still not really fantastic. So I think we ought to order the 9 meter. I think that would be not a bad idea. And the other thing is we need to put the greenhouse down, but we need the, but this is for the greenhouse. We need to create the manure. A bag of manure. Right. Oh, we've not quite finished that field off. No, I was gonna like do. Yeah, I was gonna round corner it. Let's have a quick before we get to it. Actually, I was gonna like join those. I don't know why I've done that. So, no, we will replow it in a minute. But you know, my list is getting longer of things to do. I don't know why I did that like that. Why I didn't finish it. Because you were juggling jobs in your defense. Yeah, you were like going from one to another and saying, oh, let's do this now, let's do that now. And that's how it happens. Busy, busy, busy. Right, so there's just going to be that little tiny bit to finish off. And would it be the end of the world if we forgot it? It would look terrible. It would bug me, and I'm sure it would bug almost everybody watching. If we had a little tiny bit on the field missing like that, it's a bit terrible. Right, so unfortunately we got stones in the field a bit because our stone picker did not arrive in time. But then again, it is one of the most expensive commodities that you can order, because it can be up to 150 grand, which would seriously cripple us at this precise moment. So, and you can't always rely on the fact that it's going to be a super duper bonus, because that's not fair either. You can buy it 33% off, and then it's going to be like 100 grand still, and it's going to be gulp. That's a lot of money, but it is worth it. No one's denying this fact, but it's having the readies when it arrives is the real. Right, okay, let's grab that plough back. Let's grab you again, and you reasonably. Yeah, the only bad thing about the tracked version, it's a little slow. But I like it. It's a really nice tractor. I've had it on quite a few Let's Plays. I actually had it on the day it was released, and it was slightly malfunctioning. Its front 3-point link was a little bit dodgy. Just a little bit. But the modder did fix it quickly, which I always think that's a good thing. Ooh. So allow create fields. I think we can actually use this size. And then we just want to link the two bits, and then we should be alright, really. Right, I think that'll do. It's mulching as well. It's always its mulchy thing that is a bit strange. Yeah. Brilliant. Then I will pop out. We should finish this little bit. I'll pop out, make this manure pallet, and pop straight back in, and we will grab some pallets of manure when I have created them. Right, let's get this finished. So this is really mainly for the digestate, which is the secret ingredient to making that. So seeds, we bought some at the minute, but I'm thinking that probably we'll get quite a bit of seeds, is what I'm thinking. No. Oh, why do I've started to do it on this as well now. I normally am good with it. I always do it with the plough, but it seems to be getting me on nearly everything. I'm doing the drop rather than the right, I should. Not sure how that's going to do on that. Just make sure. It does actually do it. And then one tiny bit here that I missed. And we should be cooking on gas now. Switch everything off. We're even going to put this away as well. Amazing. Yeah, I mean 9 meter is a little too heavy for most tractors. It's a little too heavy for this tractor, but this 6 meter is absolutely spot on. That's about it's in anyway. That's all that really matters. Excellent. So I am going to be right back. See you shortly. Hello and welcome. Now doing a bit of a test. And it's, yeah, I mean, I've worked with pallets a lot, and I mean a lot, and it's not showing the graphics on the pallet, but it's also, I tried a second test because I've been in quite a few times with this and it's not working. Now, I've obviously paid for it like a few, but it's doing what I expect. It's not actually doing what I expected, because what I expected was it would show the normal manure icon, and it's not. No, I need to, yeah, drop that like that. So it's partially showing the white box, but it's not showing the graphics that should be on the white box. And I've checked everything. If there's one thing I've worked with a lot, it is pallets. And they are temperamental. That's one thing I'm going to say. It's not always you. I mean, I've like that is a unique field type, but it's not showing its graphics, which is why when it grabbed it, so it means it should be. I'm prepared. I'm still not 100%, but the bottom line is, I don't want to be like, here, I've already spent hours on this and it's like just not doing what it should do. So I'm sort of like thinking, oh, just right. That old saying, the show must go on. And it is a bit like that. If it doesn't work, then I need to investigate a bit more. And it's going to be one of those like, so it should be in all things are in the big bag palette. So it should be in here. So there's two, both reading 5,000 litres. Now this is still not quite right on the, yeah. So that shows the actual thing, but with no graphics, which it shouldn't do. And so does that. So I don't seem to care which one I do. But that one I think has got the icon. No, it's confused the game because I've got two separate ones. Now what I'm finding is, although it says 5,000 litres there in the pallet, we'll give ourselves the money back because I don't think this is going to work, but I just wanted to try the other way of doing this. Which I know it'll mean nothing to yourselves. I wanted to use the extra fill types, but it seems that's overrided the picture on the actual icon. So we'll give ourselves this money back because it's, yeah, I don't know why it's not showing the oh, this is pallets. They sometimes are like that. So one of these is the one, and that, as far as I'm, even though we saw it said 5,000 litres, it's not actually putting 5,000 litres in. It's got no icon on it either, which is like the unique fill type has overridden the standard manure, which is, it was the standard manure when I checked earlier because I hadn't done the unique fill type. But yeah, both of them are showing as no litres, which is really strange because obviously it's not like it's almost like it thinks I should fill these. Yeah, like I'm spawning a pallet that's not. It does make me wonder, yeah, because obviously pallets that you buy from the store are special. Now they're sort of set up the same in a way, but like in another way, is the game expecting these to be filled pallets? What I mean is they've got 0 litres. I might need to do something special. But yeah, but it sort of looks the same as the seed ones. But then again, the game is wanting. Giants are quite funny and quite particular. I tried for a long time, and one of the first things I wanted to do was, now of course the only bad thing is that these, I'm going to have to delete them from the XML because you can't do anything with them. So let's give ourselves that 750 back. And my... Yeah, I need to come back in the game for to register the keyboard. Yeah, that's good. And yeah, because you can't sell anything. Right, so F12. Oh, actually I'm being silly. I'd forgotten I've got a new keyboard. It's not so new anymore. So I'll call it 747. That's close enough. So they're no good at all. So again, as I said, the show must go on, really. You can't like wait around for like forever to do this. I will sort it out. Again, I have had issues with pallets before. They just settle down. It's another thing that the game's a bit... So I think what we're going to have to do for now is we're going to have to sort of put down as close as we can. I think it'll be over the bridge, as if this is the shops, because we can't really do anything more. You can't buy manure that's filled. Now, I need to find out how to do this. So actually sell filled ones where the capacity is already 5,000 litres. That's just telling it the capacity is 5,000 litres. Yeah, it sort of makes a bit of sense now as I'm thinking about it and talking to yourselves. Obviously the game is expecting a production to fill a pallet, that kind of pallet. Although, yeah, mineral feed's different. Again, I think these are special things that Giants allow that have got special... There's like a list of things that you cannot go beyond, and it's called the schema, basically. And I'm sorry to get boring, but it's like basically you cannot go beyond what Giants put in that schema. So if I'm trying to do something that the game goes, nah, you can't do that, you cannot do that, then yeah, now can we... Ooh, so okay, let's have a look. Can we go over the bridge? I'd like to be as close to... Yeah, no, that is... What about over the landy bit? No, that's as good as it gets. Well, I don't care about overlapping. It's just like, I just want to put it as if it's not ours. It's new placement malarkey. It's ridiculous. Right, let's put it in B mode. If we can have it as a map sell point, though, this is sort of like, are we paying for it? Well, we're going to get the benefit from it. So I'm just going to like treat it like that. I know it shouldn't really, so we need the manure. What a palaver just to get that. So that means the manure icon is also going to be broken for this session, and I would need to delete the unique filter one because that didn't do anything. Nothing at all. Yes, I think I need to talk to the AI because that might be able to assist me with presenting a filled... Although, yeah, normally you say 1,000 litres. So it is a bit strange. There is a lot of rules, and it's strange with modding. Once you like go outside of your normal area of expertise, now I have done a lot of pallets, but I mean, as I've stuck within a certain amount of things, like for productions and things like that. When you step outside of that, although I did the early shop type ones, they were following a Giants pattern. So I stuck to exactly what Giants had done, so therefore they worked. Yeah, see the manure, there's no icon to it. That's because I presented... Ooh, it doesn't know what it is either. Oh. Okay, that is interesting. Right, I tell you what I'm going to do, because this won't actually be manure. The game doesn't know what it is. I'm going to stop this. This is an interesting test. That's the black is what you get when it doesn't know what it is. So I'm going to be interested. If I delete that palette or move that palette and we come back... How much? Wow. I think we need to give ourselves that money back. Gordon Bennett. Wow. Cool. I think I'm probably still not quite giving myself enough back. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the cameras, go on out, delete the unique field type, and then obviously that should turn back to manure. Although I'm not sure it will. The game is really quite funny about this type of thing when it doesn't know. But I have seen this before and where it turns back. So I'm going to be right back. See you shortly. Right, I thought it easier not to save the progress of that particular thing, which means... Oh, is it? Yeah, because the pallets that we bought no longer exist. So I have lost 247 euros. But apart from that, we should be... Now, I think I've done it because I did a pre-filled silos a few months back. So you could buy a pre-filled silo for an island like this, which is one approach I could have taken with this. I only did a few, just a couple, just as a proof of concept that it would actually work. But I thought, yeah, but you had to declare that it was pre-filled, so I'm hoping, if not, we will do what we just... no, we didn't save it, that's the thing. So we should be able to go in the store, and we should, now see, this is right, if my syntax is right. The age-old problem of any kind of computer work. It's not showing, and it's not showing an icon, is it? So, okay, this is like, a vehicle loading failed, missing field type category. Oh, have I left the field? Oh, that's interesting, because it did load. Could not load fill unit. Right, okay, in that case, we will leave it for now. I will fix it. Oh, I'm tabbing, not switching that off. Why are you not actually... Oh, I'm on the wrong button, that's why. Right, okay, so we're going to go back to plan B. Yep, I will have a look at that. I know I'm on the right track, but I say pallets are a pain. And especially... Yeah, what I realised is I've heard of long COVID. I didn't realise what it was. I have got long COVID. It means that your symptoms still persist when COVID's off, and it can be a short thing, a long thing, or it can be a forever thing. So it's one of those things that you're not really sure of, like, how long it's going to be. So I've just got to put up with the fact that I've still got these night sweats going on and other symptoms, and I'm still not myself. My strength is not what it should be. So, no, other one. Right, so if we stick that... Oh, it's almost letting me do that there. Huh. No, let's put B mode on it. I just want it like sitting... Right, that will do nicely. So this is a bit of a trade-off so that the show must go on, as the old saying goes. It's true. It's more important than that. In an ideal world, I did try my best, but we will treat it as though we're buying bags from the store, which we're not terribly far away, so it's not terribly unbelievable. This map's a bit of a stretch anyway, because you sort of like... This is a bit magic-y where things are appearing... almost like they've been airlifted, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the game can't quite accommodate reality, and you've got to use your imagination. It's sort of like that's all you've got. So yeah, I'm not sure which is the best way. I always go... it was left. Right, okay. So now you can see the manure icon is back. So I don't know why it's still reading the unit. It could be because I'd stuffed this up because I'd already like done it before. Now then, do we need to be like... it's March. Let's have a look. If we're doing grapes and oils, let's have a look how that is actually looking. It won't actually show you. Yeah, so let's switch these on. And we do want to be sticking the grapes and oils itself down as well, the actual, to do things with the end product. So let's like say distribute and distribute, even though we've got nothing to distribute to at present. Let's take this and stick that into there, the greenhouse. Still, yeah, still a little bit concerned about my water tanker. There's two ways I can do it. You can cheat. You can say do not. You can set a limit on how much capacity of water it's got in. Almost, it's something that I think Rawley Christie did with his 70 tonner for a long time in FS25. Because I remember there's certain points it like. Now this should just do it itself, I think. If it finds the right place, which it should do at some point soon. Do we need to switch this on, or... It looks about right. No, it says, yeah, it's got manure showing us in there, so it's like no way this should not do. Of course, I've never used this. I mean, it's gone in, which means if it finds the trigger, it should go out. And it is roughly right where we are there. Do you know? No, you're right. It's a little bit more closer to the box. Yeah, I think I need to increase. This is something I've said about other modders as well, is when you've got something big like this, it needs to sort of get rid of the bigness at a rate that's not going to drive everybody crazy, which in real life something like this would have to have. Now this is obviously taken beyond the standard capacity of what this would be, so really it needs to be almost twice as quick as what this would have been if you were to try to deal with the capacity that you like gone to. Right, so we now need, we're at 3, 4, 5. Where are we sticking the grapes and oil? It's a long time since I've used this. Yeah, it's an awful long time, it is. I love it. I actually really do like this one. It's one of the favourite mods that I did, combining grapes and oils in greenhouse and also in the actual bionic grapes and oils. Are we going to go? I think this is going to be... We're limited on space, so I think we need to like go really good in all of our businesses. Even though I keep saying I won't do this, the other thing is... you really need to, if it's your like if you only got 2 businesses, you need those businesses to be good businesses. So I think it sort of overrides my normal thing for if I've got loads of room and we could do 6 or 7 super crisp, super grapes and oils. Excellent. So we can do the canola and that with our greenhouse, couldn't we, if we really wanted to? But I want to leave this. I don't want to do everything where all we've got is, you know, like the game's doing it for us and there's no effort involved with us. So I'd like, it is primarily, and always has been, a farming game first and foremost. So I think I'd like to carry on where we actually are doing that. Needs to have a bit of room on the right. Yeah, this rotating malarkey is so annoying. See how close we can get without it moaning. Very close. I've tried to keep these so that you can really put them quite close to other things. Let's go a little bit further forwards so that we're almost matching the other one. Fantastic. Let's use in... Yeah, I want to muck around with what you put down. I think that's the dark asphalt. I think that's the default. It's still not quite right either. I need to increase it there, but I want to muck around with this. I want to get a bit more refined in my mods as I'm sort of, yeah, I'm trying to finish off a few. Well, I've got my palette to fix as well now, but yeah, I think it is just asphalt. I think this is the standard thing that the game does by default. Ooh. Right, so yeah, it looks a bit out of sorts. I don't think we've got these 2 blobs of black. I suppose we could actually uniform it a bit so that it at least matches that your production areas all look the same, and like in between them, so it sort of looks like it was done by design rather than a bit of an accident. He says as he goes completely. Yeah. So I've got long COVID. I'm not. Yeah, I just saying to my wife, obviously, my health had not been brilliant anyway. For the last sort of few years, it's been getting gradually worse.
I've got like high blood pressure and stuff like that, which means your heart's not too grand, and that way we have heart disease in the family and all that type of stuff. There's no good worrying about it. It's yeah, we'll leave the silo as slightly different, but it is what it is. You've got to alter your life to sort of accommodate like what is happening. So right, so our businesses, we do need to stick the grapes and oils on though. So we want to be planting. I think we could do canola. Canola's like last year. Yeah, we need to be. It's I think. Yeah, so let's look at the grapes and oils first. Let's remind myself. So olive oil, that's right, and grape, obviously as well. So super olive and grapes, that'll distribute to there. So that's looking after the grape juice and the olive oil and the raisins. Yeah, so the rest we have to do ourselves. So sunflower, we've missed the canola boat. We could do rice. Now that we've got that ability to plant that straight off, I do think we need another plant side. I think we ought to order one now, even though we're sort of hemorrhaging money as you usually do. But sometimes you just need to do. I think we'll struggle. We'll struggle for this year. I think it's going to be one of those things. We need to like earn some cash, and we've got. I think it's June, July though, where the olive oil can sell for quite a good price. So I think we'll do that for now. So we've got the grape juice, and we might have to do this in stages. We have got the big field though. So with the sunflowers, I think, aren't they today? Yes, they are. So sunflowers, let's go grab, it doesn't matter who we grab, we want to grab field 3. We need to lease it. We can't do that big field with, yeah, I think we're going to need to like borrow an agriculture. This is a 255 as well, isn't it? It's actually quite a powerful tractor. I think we'll use the big Axion, and I think we'll borrow an agricola, lease. Would we be able to do that? That's true, yeah. Am I going out of character for the map? Possibly. So it looks to me like I've just got to dig a bit deeper, really. And that, so really, this tractor here is more than capable of this. Yeah, I think we're going to have to carry on our old steam and order. I think what we ought to do on this is say, why have we lost the solid fertiliser? Why have we lost the solid fertiliser? We had thousands of litres in this. I haven't mucked around with solid fertiliser, and I've not mucked around with this. So why would that lose the solid fertiliser? That is, oh, because it's in the front. You've not lost it. You're just thinking you've lost it. That's why. Right, okay then. So we will have, so now we obviously we've got the buy point, but it's supposed to depict us buying from the store. So it's as best I can do. But we can still buy that type of thing at the store properly, so let's like not try and go around this, but I think I'm going to do this myself on that massive field with a 6-metre piece of equipment. Now there were, yeah, the cockling. This could assist. Rice, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It is very good price. I think we'll buy this too, and I think we'll have 2 of us do this. Now again, this is only, yeah, that's only for just seed, so we're gonna have to go over. Have we got a fertilizer? We've got a sprayer. That would do nicely. Right, so let's fill this with the seeds that we had earlier, which we're actually almost filled, so we don't really need an awful lot. Right, so let's grab another solid fertilizer, because that we can actually do. They're selling our mower already. Right, so we want fertilizer, and we're going to go our solid fertilizer, which is not that one at all. Now that shows us 1,000. I reckon I've done that wrong as well. I think I did do that wrong. I thought and I'm just thinking about why that went wrong. Why is that not showing the fertilizer? I've done it in the wrong category. It all appears in this big bag pallets section anyway. There we go. So why is that not? Maybe it did and I didn't see it. So we'll go for 2 of these. Yeah, like these, the capacity of these, liquid fertilizer is something that the game is feels very, very strongly about. I mean, I tried to do it slightly cheaper, a lot cheaper, and Giants have got that sewn up that you cannot do that cheaper. Now, of course, you can make it. The productions will allow you to make it, but you can't, like, cheat the system. So we don't want peas. We want sunflowers. So let's set this going quickly. I'll now grab the cockling. So where do we get to field 3? Let's have a look on the map. Down to our immediate left. And I shall use the cockling. Yeah, now you can see that the icon's changed, the sunflower icon, but it is still the normal sunflowers. It's because I created no, it is working. That we did see. Yeah, we use this on a greenhouse. That's field 2, and so I think, are we going to do? I think we'll do sunflowers in this one, and I think rice is April. I think so. Let me have a look. I'm sure rice is April. Are we doing? Short grain rice is the best, that rice, which is tomorrow. I thought it was. I think, is it long grain that's also the same? I think both of the rices are the same month. Rice and long L is also, yeah, April. So with this, I'll be assisting this with the sunflowers right now, which is going to be a pain because I'm going to like... No, so let's grab this has not seen any action at all. Let's grab this, and are we going to spray to finish, or what are we going to do? Yeah, because it's going to cause a bit of an issue for the fact that we've not got a fertilizer section in this, unfortunately. And we've only got a sprayer, so we're going to have to be buying expensive spray to begin with to make this actually work. And we're right in the way. Yeah, the Black Sheep Moddings. Beautiful telehandler. Yeah, the 3, but I didn't realise the 3-point was actually free either. Yeah, I thought or it was a not. No, I'm sure it's free. I'm sure I bought this a few times now. It's a really beautiful mod, as Black Sheep mods usually are. Yeah, no, that he is a modder that really knows his modding. One can always aim high, but obviously your skill level at any one particular time. Now, I wonder if this does the pulling the two together and moves on to the other one like the others. Yeah, you see that? That's quite... I like that. Right, let's grab another seeds. You should be able to grab those from there as well. No, that's true. I think I've only classed my seeds in the seed category. You can actually say I wanted to show in lots of different categories, and I chose seeds because it was seeds. So yeah, that's why it only appears in this one category, because I told it was only to appear in this one category. Which again, that was one of the very first mods I ever did. You know, I was just playing, because this is what JM Game was saying, and obviously I must admit myself, I realised this very early on. One of the first things you do with any kind of modding is just tweaking XML. It's just like creating mods from base game items, which is of course what I did do. But obviously Giants are, even that, there are a set of rules, and it soon becomes apparent when you're doing that there are a set of rules that you're not aware of, that like a master, the Bible of FS25 that sets limits and such like things. And it didn't take me long to realise that, but obviously then obviously I've done a lot of research in the interim, and let's just see, is that, oh, it does need a bit of repairing, even though we've not yeah, right, so let's go and assist, and then we shall use the Berthoud to spray. Now this is one time I do miss precision farming. Is it down there? We're done wheat. Let's just change this because I know what I'm like. Oh, no. You're trying to do sunflowers. You'll not do that with this. You might be able to do the rice, but you'll not be able to do sunflowers. So this is sort of, I suppose it's good in a way. But what we could do then, if that is the case, is get this over to field 3 ready for the morning. And go grab the ball, my life. Go grab the... I've never done that before. I think I was talking about the physics. Now, I don't know if Giants have, like, broken the physics or whether they're improving the physics. Because we've all seen lots of times that they actually are breaking things as well and not always fixing them. So, yeah, like, quite a few mods have been broken at different times and then they work a couple of weeks later and things like that. So you never know. Now, does this need liming? Field 3. Because that we could do. No. Oh, of course, field 1, we've done the edging, haven't we? Right, so how are we doing on the... Ooh, not a lot. No, it's not done that much. I think we'll take over in a minute. Let's just grab the bird out for tomorrow. And we don't need the biggie. And I think the... Yes, this is the exact one I wanted. So let's grab the bird out, and... Which we did actually put away. I also did my the poles on the roof on that. You can just see a tiny little bit. It's not. I remember I said, "Oh, I've not changed anything." I thought, didn't you make them like thinner? Because it's like metal sheeting, and metal sheeting's thinner than wood. And I thought, I did, didn't I? This is true. So actually, I did make a change, and it was all me, definitely, nobody else. Right, so we need to line that little bit strip down there. And we'll get this ready for the morning. Liquid fertiliser. We can make our own. That's a point, actually. We can. Why are we doing this? We can make our own. We're trying to be self-sufficient. So why are we like not doing this when we have got the mini self-sufficiency and we can make liquid fertiliser? We need normal fertiliser first, I believe. And I gestate. We're growing the grass. We don't cheat, so we do need to make a bit of solid fertilizer first. It's true. So this time we've got to buy it. Diesel. No. Liquid fertilizer. Fantastic. Let's take this down to field 3. We're ready for the morrow. And then I'm going to take over doing field 2. With the 6 metre, because it should be a little less faffy. I'm pleased with where we are, though. I mean, we've got quite a few bits of kits that we have improved. Like we've now got the quite a good harvester. I'm quite pleased, quite a powerful one as well. So, yeah, I don't know when the next set of draining's going to go on, or whether I don't know how to. I don't think we got any control over it. I think it's just an element, and I think it's real time. These type of things always seem to be real time rather than like if you speed time up, it doesn't care about that. It's like so many hours real time and it will do something else. Right, so we should take over in a second, and I will go into a brief time lapse because it's still going to take a while. I love this, but the only thing that drives me crazy is its speed is a little bit slow. Right, okay, let's crack on then. Let's get this. Apologies, my wife was just ringing. Let's make sure that I'm actually recording. Yes, I am. Fantastic. Right, okay then, so where were we? Yes, this is ready, and I was about to take over. That might be finished, actually, thinking about it. I think no, but it's nearly finished. Right, okay, let's grab this. We'll take over. Is it worth time-lapsing it now? I think we've only got 2 rounds now. I don't think it's worth time-lapsing it for 2 rounds of a field. It's one useful thing to, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I've got to adjust a little bit, and so my family has too as well. It's got quite disruptive, but I sort of woke up this morning and I thought, you're not really well enough to drive all the way to Lincolnshire and back. You're liable to kill us all or something silly. Your concentration's shocking. You're weak at work has absolutely hammered you to the ground, and you've got no energy. Yeah, fatigue is one of the biggest things. I was sort of getting more and more tired each and every sort of day I've tagged something, and so I've done that tagging thing where you tag something by mistake. Let's untag. Fantastic. yeah, so it's sort of it's a horrible thing. I was saying to my wife, never sort of thought I'd ever get that. And not so young as well, really. I'm not an old man. 57, I'll really not call that as old, and yet my health has just over these last couple of years got really, really bad. And you can't help that. It's a so I've got a family history of heart disease. I've had an uncle who actually died at 49. So I'm not being morbid either. What I'm saying is, if I'm never ever going to worry about that. There's no point. But what I'm trying to say is, you've got to realise that it's there in the background. You can't ever assume that you're not, like the same as my uncle who died at 49. You don't know. And that's what I'm saying. I'm 57, so I've done better. But what I mean is, you don't ever know. My grandma, she died I think she got 68, and she'd had a major heart attack before that. My mum died fairly early, young really, she was only just in her very early 70s. So again, it's one of those things, the family seems to die sort of young. And again, it don't really bother me. You know what I mean. What I mean is that not the actual thought or the fear of death in that way. It's just a part of life, isn't it, really, death? So no point in worrying about something that's inevitable. Right, so that's doing that. Excellent. So I think there's probably going to be 2 more rounds, because you guarantee that I'm not going to have done this exactly 6 meters, and I'll be slightly out, whereas the AI probably would have done this perfectly. It's one thing when they are better. Yeah, so I'm not sort of like maudling or trying to like depress or all the rest of it, but the other thing is that you've got the hand that you dealt with, and it is what it is. So you just got to get on and do the best you possibly can. But also, like, I could have just carried on and I was going to ignore it, and because I didn't want to have these conversations with the family and admit it out loud that you've got long COVID and that things are going to need to change, because you can't do the things that your family would normally expect of you, because you just can't do it. It's there's only so much give. You've got to go to work, you've got to provide for your family, you've got to look after them. These are like, I'd already lost a week both times with both of these illnesses. First of all, a horrible flu, and then COVID. And although neither time was ready, I'd literally had 1 week back at work. And again, it's your income. You've got bills to pay. So life doesn't care that you're not well enough. You just got to crack on. But obviously the other thing is, it's sort of lousy timing on all things. I should be on a 4-day week at work. It's sort of been agreed, because I almost left and I was going to become a postman. But like, I'd got like the second interview for it, where I would, I won't not say it's a done deal, but yeah, as long as I'd met the criteria. I did. You do like a test beforehand to prove, basic that you're suitable for the job. It's quite an intensive. Whoever designed it for the post office did a very good job of sort of like as a van driver, it was sort of like an observation test, and I obviously passed. And then also they also do a test for the way that the system works through the post office, sorting letters and that, and was quite complicated. I was quite shocked that what they have to do, and I thought, wow, that really is quite complex. But anyway, obviously I did that all right as well, because there was a few trick questions, and I'm like, no, I can see what you're trying to do. You're trying to catch me out with that one. So no, I can see what you're trying to do. So I think I got a good set of things on which is usually my forte is normally systems and things like that. I can usually figure them out, which is a great assist with modding, and also my job. But yeah, computers as well. Really, you need to have a good eye for detail, which I've got. So I say I'm maudling again. Yeah, I should be on a 4-day week. It's been agreed, and that would have helped with this situation, because I would not have pushed my body like I have done. You can still see the water, can't you, on the ground? The wheels are still wet and everything. So I don't know whether we did lime though. So I'm a bit I don't know whether you'd lime twice, whether you lime once for liming and then once for... But there's definitely still water lying around. But the top field... Now, that hasn't got any water anymore. So, and that was the natural thing that just happened through waiting for this. So I think there's just too much water around the water level, and it will just actually go at some point properly, I would say. Right, so now we see, are we 1/6 metre, or do we need to like do a little tiny bit as well? That is the question. Have we done this right, or do we need to... No, we should go over a bit more to the left. I don't think we're too far off. I think that's not going to be too terrible. There might be the odd little strip in places where it was broadened out a bit, but apart from that, I think this is our last bit. Yeah, so it's... I always try to stay positive, although this game has tested that to the absolute utmost. Yeah, it has, definitely. I'd had enough. I had. But... I am back, and I sort of like think, well, you chose to come back, you know, warts and all. And this game has got quite big warts in comparison to FS22 and FS19. Right, let's get this ready. But again, I'm trying to sort of... I mean, it's hard not to moan at all. There's always so many reminders that the game isn't right. But, yeah, I want to stay positive, really. I'd like to include the pipes, see if it's possible to get the pipes working on the 9 metre one as well. There's got to be a way you can do this. To include those special pipes to go from that pipe to that one. I must see how Giants have done it. I would imagine this is rather a complex kind of modding there, that kind of thing. But again, sometimes it's just an XML snippet to include the pipes, as long as you've got like where it ends and where it begins. So we should see. I'm not going to say something I noticed when I was using the Pilatus, which is really the Optima. Well, you know, it's a modded Optima. It's not an Optima, but it started its life as an Optima. And again, that's also, I think, got a pipes one, but that doesn't work. So whether I've done something... Now, this is where it's going to widen a little, I think. Might need to do a bit of a double on this bit, I think. Just this first few feet. Yes, I'm thinking the water, hopefully at some point, will just disappear, because we have limed this, and it did make mention of the lime, which is why we needed the stones. So I don't know... Yeah, I'm a bit not sure how that works. Yeah, the instructions were a little bit sort of vague. Not to me anyway, not personally clear enough. I like clear instructions, and to me I was like, not sure what you're on about. You know, it's your instructions are a little bit... But yeah, we shall see what we shall see. It does seem to be the top field dried out without us doing anything before we'd even limed, so I don't think it had anything to do with the liming, even though it did say about the liming, and it did also say you could paint instead if you didn't want to lime. Well, I limed, so, but it's still, this still needed, yeah, still getting water splashes on our tyres, so I'm really not sure how we actually do this. So we'll go through to April, and we will get our rice done. And I will assist, and we'll use the 2.6 metres, which is not a bad thing. And the other thing is you could... It's true, actually. We ought to order the 9 metre. I think this would... With a 9 metre and 2.6 metres, I think it would actually stand us in good stead. So the very thing we were talking about... What do we buy another 6? I don't use this one a lot, do I? And it's a lot cheaper as well. It wouldn't, like, break the bank an awful lot. So continuous search, yes. Now the other thing is, we'll also grab the box, another box ordered as well. Now we did buy it last time. I did mean to say this, but we will... no, it's a Xylon. Yeah, we'll order this as well. Yeah, and hope that it comes reasonably quickly. But You can never tell. It can be in 6 months' time that it drops, or it could be in 2 hours. But I like that. That's why I like it. I know some people are not that keen on the used equipment mod. I've got to be honest, I loved the second-hand equipment mod in FS19. I cut my teeth on it. It was ideal for a start from scratcher where your money's always low, and you started with 300 grand on FS19, where you needed to buy your fields, your equipment, the whole shebang, and it was tough. It really was a tough start. And of course, back in those days was when your farmyards went and blew up into nothing, and all you had was a concrete slab. So they cost as much, but you had nothing on it. It's true. It was. I was so pleased in FS22 when many of the modders, like started to leave the farmyards. It was. I thought, surely that's how it should be, really. That just because you're doing a start from scratch, it means that you're wanting a challenge. I'm not saying New Farm Start isn't a challenge, but you're wanting more of a challenge with start from scratch. But it doesn't mean to say you don't want the farmyard in time. It just means that you're wanting to start with a harder start where you've got very little money and no land at all, and you might well build up to the farmyard, is the way that I always used to look at it. I think that is it. Right, so we want to put this on rice. Make sure it's short rice and not long. Brilliant. So that's ready for the morning. Excellent. So this big field 3, I think you can fit 4 field 2s in this one. So it's a bit of a monster, to say the least. Right. Okay then. So let's go through till about 2 o'clock, I should say. Yeah, our greenhouses should be going now. We'll check at 2 o'clock to make sure that we've done it right. Let's have a look, make sure we are actually on. And producing, we should be sending over to this a little tiny bit already. We are in it is a super, so it's going to be good in some ways. Yeah, wow, it is actually, yeah. Whoa, olive oil, Gordon Bennett, pig food as well. Wow, I'd forgotten about the pig food side of things. Should we do pigs for a change? Have some imported from the mainland. I like my thinking. A big crone. We can't quite afford it, but we might be able to by the time we're finished. May just be able to eke that. And this sort of emphasizes exactly what I was talking about, and why I'm always a little bit remiss on spending the cash, because you really need to keep quite a lot of cash in to keep this going. Yeah, you can't just be like 100 grand, or you're gonna miss out on so much of the good side of things. Now, I'd say ideally 400 grand is probably about right, but you can't always keep 400 grand locked out, ready to sort of do. But I think 250 is probably, like we just saw, is about the norm, about the what's reasonable. Right, and now the crone. I'm doing a 6-meter version of this as well. Right, fantastic. Let's move you back. Now, one thing I do like about this is the fact that it reverses very quickly in comparison to most vehicles. It really is one of those mods I really overlooked. I thought, it's a right ugly looking beast. It isn't the prettiest, but then again, if you look at the films, it actually does look like that. Yeah, it really is a bit of a... It's not supposed to look like a normal lorry. It is made with a different function. It's very light in a lot of ways because it's never going to need to go out. Right, so let's... I think we should be just about there, I would say. We can just about do the Agrifac. The light tracks version. Yeah, the other's the dearer one, isn't there? The Optitrax. Where's the difference? I don't know. think the horsepower's the same and everything. I have no idea what the difference is. It just costs an awful lot more, and I don't know why you would justify that, because I can't see why it's costing you more. I didn't see the header like get bigger or anything like that either, so I'm not sure what the thing is with the Agrifac, why it's... And it was still 18.5 cubic meter storage, which is quite small in comparison to a lot of the other ones, is what I mean. Although I think the Dwarf's about the same. See, now that's not bad. Right, so let's go through till about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And let's stick a bit of light on. See if anything else is... Ooh, not quite. So we might not reach it. We might, though. We might. Never say never. We've got 2 of those we can actually grab and sell. It's going to make a little bit of cash. We're only short by a little tiny bit. Oh, no. That's not what I was trying to do. Try box. Right, so let's grab... Yes, I'm intrigued. We may just do this. May. Now, I'm not sure how heavy these are. I'd have thought being empty, they're just like an empty box, aren't they? So I would have thought you should be alright, really, with them. 3 grand. We have got a bit of pig food, though. Now, the only thing that is a little bit odd is the self-marketing on a place like this. But I did do it on the last island on Bearhaven, because there were still people on the island. But on this, it's sort of like more like a deserted island where people were getting drops. I'm not sure how that would... Whether we should do... But then we have got to put a sell point down. So I suppose... we would just put a normal sell point down, which would be our own. But yeah, we don't need to like trace all the way over to the... Ooh, that's going to be very close. Ooh, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. That is so close. It's unbelievably close. 70 euros left. Phenomenal. I hate that when I jump out and it totally disorients me. €72. Now that is what I call cutting it close. Ooh, 36,000. Wow. Amazing. And that just sort of goes to show how good that is. Let's go through till about 12 o'clock at night. Let's see, get anything in the sales or not. No. Or not. And ooh, wow. Now this has been good to us. We were talking about this and about the sales. We've not been very good to us because we've not had many big items. And well, now we seem to be getting quite a few, which is, now that I'm thinking of keeping for ourselves, because it really is very useful, the hoe. We haven't got one in the game, that's why I made one, but I really did model it as well, so it looks like the 12.5 meter. So, and it does work as well, it unfolds properly and everything's in the right place, so I'm quite pleased with it. Apart from it loses its red. Yeah, it's the only bad thing. Shouldn't do, but it does. We don't want the back. We don't want to be wasting any cash, because you don't get any better thought of or any extra cash at all. So what's the point in wasting money? This is a really powerful tractor. It is. The tracked version, it was the only thing that would shift the Amity with the 70 odd tons of, was it wood chips it had got in it? Ooh, backwards 410,000. From the jaws of death, we have escaped. Right, it's just, yes, it's still in the 10% range. So let's sell that. Not going to make a lot, but it's like 4,300 is 4,300. This is a really agile harvester. Look at how those back wheels are like rotating. And this is not ours. Mine's slightly modded, so it's even better. But even the natural one is a really good harvester. Oh, that made a bit more than you thought, actually. Oh, so this is us, for us. So it's gone silver, so it's lost its red. That's what I was saying. It's like, yeah. So when you use the normals, I wanted to try using the normals to override the red colour. Trouble is it makes everything silver, and it does sometimes come through as red, but other times it doesn't. A bit like the mower's copper, and frequently, because I use the Giant's normals, I know it means nothing to you, I apologise, it overrides the copper. You can see the little tiny crisscrosses, they should all be copper, but like I need to like remove it and like do it all over again. It's a bit annoying. So we're down to 373 because we've just bought that, but we're not much different to what we were a few minutes ago. Let's go through till 4 o'clock ish, and that's the only thing we can really buy. So we'll buy this and leave it out, and we'll go for a little bit more till the morning, and then we need to do a bit of work. So I'd say 8 o'clock if we can stop in time. Not too terrible. And a little fent. Ooh, the pickup header. Yeah, we're not really working with anything though, the way it's actually worth us doing that kind of thing. And so we could buy that. It's in the range. In fact, the mower's going to be in the range in a minute, because as our money goes down, the range goes down. So we can actually buy that now and sell that. And that too. And the random too, we can do that. We've already got big ones, aren't we? As big as that. So let's just get this lot all sold. Again, this is a nice little tractor, but we're sort of. I always think there's a time to buy and there's a time not to buy, and that's when your money's already low. You've got to get it back up again. So I mean, it's up frequently that you miss some really nice tractors that you'd normally like say, yeah, I'll have that. That's really nice, but you just can't do it. So you've got to like be guided by. Is there something on the other side of that? No. It's all this side now. Let's grab that, sell that too, and then we'll come back. I do love it having a 3-point link on the back of your telehandler, especially for this kind of, now Giants have done this sort of setup where, you can, I mean, they really have beefed up the selling. I quite like it, and it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but especially with the, yeah, I mean, the, unless, of course, it has now been fixed, your contracts are still really very, very hit and miss. So they're not reliable. Or they weren't last time I checked, which is only a few months back. Yeah, on my... all of the extremes, I wanted to do a contract start on them, and I tried it sort of 3 or 4 times at that time, and The Riverbend Springs one, it worked one time, then it didn't. And that's a Giants map, so... Right, so let's move this out the road and see what the final tally is when we sold that. Should be over 400 grand again, which is not a bad place to be when you've just bought a few bits of kit. Of course, we shall be working with the equipment that we had yesterday, because unfortunately we didn't get any of our seeders and planters, which is just about right, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to say leasing is not allowed. We've got to carry on with what we've got, because there's nowhere to get your leased items from, which is going to make things tough. Means that sometimes we're going to have to make hard choices like a farmer would have to do if you haven't got a piece of equipment. Well, it's just tough. You can't do it. Right, okay then. So final tally, 411,000. Not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm quite pleased with that. Would have been nicer if we could have like had another planter or something, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's still got the hoe now, which is amazing. That is a point, actually. Weeds on field 2. Didn't we? We ploughed it. It should be weed free. And our grass should be stage 1, which you can't chop anymore for some reason. So a little tiny bit of needs liming. Fertilised, fully fertilised both. Probably both need rolling. And I should have done that. Why did I not do the needs rolling? Because I'm not in the habit. I'm a terror for forgetting. It's so annoying. We could have rolled. Now then, we will take stock of... Yeah, so this is fried digestate, so we can actually be a bit more self-sufficient. But it is definitely growing well. Needs lime. Oh no, this edge needs lime. Yes, it does. We'll do that, splash of that next time. Let's have a look at how our business is doing, because it is a super. It should do very well. I might need to even knock this down a little. Now it's like, yeah, almost 2 months. Still a bit ferocious. The grape juice is good. The olives are a bit severe. Need to knock the olive oil production down a little bit. It's a bit too good, even for a super. I'd expect like 10 tons, so I think we should be up to about 20. So we've got a third extra. So I think I need to knock the cycles down on the olive oil to be a little bit more realistic. Otherwise, it's like having an excuse to print money if you like have things. Now the raisins are always, so if anything, the grape juice wants turning up a little and the olive oil needs turning down a little. So I must remember this. Now we have produced a lot of pig food because there is no waste. All of the food bit, and this is true, I did research on this. So now that's a point actually, we say this, we said keep though, so everything's inside, should be. So that means that is an accurate count and tally on what things are. You know, the pig food is loose anyway, so yeah, that's, yeah, the raisins, it's nearly all the grapes, it looks like the grapes are a bit, so it's back here. Yeah, the olives, I think, need turning down, and the grapes need turning up. So they were all the same. If you look closely, they're exactly the same cycles, but it seems that they're done at different... Obviously, it's not just a purely mathematical equation. And this, I found this a lot with a lot of things that Giants did. You have to tweak things by feel, not by mathematics. It doesn't work. There's like limits put on to stop things happening, so... I'll have a tweak as I go out. Hopefully I'll remember. Right, so I think it's not a bad place to leave it here, actually. And then we'll get our next session with doing that field. So that's growing. Yeah, we will get... we could set the workers going, though. A sensible... But I could even... No, let's just set it going. Well, I think we should courseplay it, and we should... Yeah, I do, actually. Thinking about this. Do I leave it for a few... No, it's true, actually. No, I'm going to leave this. I'll set the course for next time. I was going to set a normal worker, but I thought, although it's a good idea in some ways, then controlling the two workers so they don't bump into each other is a nightmare with the standard workers, so... Seems like a good idea, but on a big field, I'm not sure it's quite so straightforward. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.